That's horrifying. Like, imagine turning on your computer to that.
Animal abuse. Yeah, exactly. Like, do that right down the fucking.
Oh my god.
That's going to be in the Instagram post, isn't it?
Thumbnail, right?
Sure will.
Please give me a timestamp right now. That is the short one.
It is.
Oh, okay.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode, The Return of Press Any Key, episode 128. I'm your host, Pat Aberano. You can find all of our social media linked below. You can join the conversation, not just in our comment section, but in our Discord. With me, as always, is our co-host. Give it up for Nick McFly.
Hello.
Hey, Gingy on the ones and twos.
Hi.
And coming from states away, everybody, back in Roku City, give it up for Mike Burke. He's here.
I got expedited.
Did you watch the episode that you weren't on where I put Mike right? I just put his Discord.
Oh, I did see a screenshot of it.
Right here. I was like, that is so much simpler because when you cut to me, it really looks like I'm having a conversation with somebody.
I wish that you took like Boo the ghost from Mario and just did like a soft outer glow around Mike's frame, so he's just the face of
every
Boo.
time he talks.
Did I die now?
Every time he talks, it's that.
Yeah, exactly.
Good point, Mike. Good point. As a matter of fact, pull that up. All right. So let's get down to business there, boys. We're back this week, and this train keeps a fucking rolling. And first up, we're talking about a very sad day in the content creation space. What are you laughing at, huh?
You made a train comment. You were like, the train keeps rolling. I was like thinking of how I could make a joke about you and trains.
Yeah. This has all been fascinating, but I'm going to bed. All right.
I didn't mean that in any particular way.
So anyway, Liz, did you like that?
Yeah, last night I'm trying to go to bed. It's 1 a.m. and Pat's showing me model train videos. I was like, this is great, but I have to go to sleep.
Hey,
I showed him the video of Railroad Mountain in Oregon. And
it was cool.
37 miles of 1/6 scale model railroad that these guys put car seats on their trains and they just drive out into the fucking backcountry with them up in the Pacific Northwest.
The best part,
it's so awesome.
It's like it's like a country club. So these guys have like yearly memberships to keep their train in storage and just go there and ride their train around outside.
It's so fucking cool.
You guys have to send me this shit.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you have to become a member, but maybe I can like pay a member just to take me out there or something. You know what I mean? So, anyway, that aside, Achievement Hunter is ending. We heard this week. Actually, Nick was the one that let us know. Yes. So, I watched Achievement Hunter as early as 2012, and I was watching the Minecraft series when they were in like, I think the most I got up to was 100 something or something like that. But once I went away to school and once I went to Monmouth, I kind of lost following it a bit. But every here and there I checked. Just as recently as 2020 or like 2021, I remember watching the new GTA heist, or we'd go look at Rust, or I'd go and try and find old stuff that I used to watch. And it was still pretty funny, but it doesn't beat the original lineup. Well, it never could, I don't think.
The big thing is that there's just too many other outlets out there doing the same thing that they are doing.
Yeah.
It was one thing back when they were getting started, or in the early days of YouTube, they were the only ones in the game.
Yeah.
They literally got the name Let's Play, and they cornered the market. So everybody's seen the writing on the wall for years now. Their YouTube numbers are dropping, and they're constantly rotating out new cast members. There was all those controversies,
one of them was preying on
let's
fans.
not get into it.
Well, no, but that's important.
That's
I mean, that definitely didn't help.
It definitely hurt their reputation. Not that reflects on the rest of them, but the channel as a whole definitely took a beating from a PR perspective.
But I also remember, at least in my recollection, that I remember when the original lineup, it was like Gavin, Michael, Jack, Ryan, and Ray and Jeff, right? That chemistry just could not be beat. I remember I would laugh so fucking hard watching those videos. Like some of the hardest I've ever laughed at gaming content, and haven't laughed that hard at gaming content since. Like, and then Ray left to become a streamer, and Gavin was getting more and more involved with slow-mo guys. and everybody just kind of went their own direction. And I just after that, I remember it just slowly faded into the background. You know what I mean? So I guess that kind of feels like that's how it went. But I mean, it's crazy that it went this long. You know what I mean?
I got into it a little bit later. I grew up. My buddy Kevin, like he was really into Red versus Blue, so that was my first exposure
me
to
too.
them.
Yeah, I had the DVD.
I think that was everybody's. Like,
So I never got into that. I was just aware of it. But then when I started finding their not the regular GTA heists, they did their own custom heists that the cast members would like make up a scenario, and they would just go so far off the rails. To anybody listening to this, watch those heists where they would set them up and have a whiteboard conversation and pretend like they're all criminals.
Yeah,
those were some of the most amazing videos. And then I was in and out all through the last 5 or 6 years. I've been watching in and out, and the new cast members are great. But again, it's just like the difference is they've been playing with different formats, how long the videos are. Some of them, they were even cutting out the conversation to focus more on the gameplay. And it's like, that's not why we're watching. Yeah. We're watching because we want to hear,
I want to hear you guys joke around while you play video games.
They
That's
are the part
funny.
we like.
Yeah, exactly. And also, going back to what you said about rotating out the cast members and everything, I also just feel like they at a certain point, they were rotating them out so much, trying to capture some sort of chemistry between people that you weren't given any chance for any real relationships to like grow with the audience or everything. Like, don't get me wrong, if someone wanted to leave and they had to replace them, that's one thing. But not be like every other video we're changing out 1 to 2 people to try and figure something out.
At that point, they weren't like hiring people on as full members of the cast. They had some people as guest spots. Yeah. Some people were just filling in for other cast members who weren't around. Especially Gavin, who was in and out a lot.
Yeah. There was actually 2 notable videos that I watched specifically in college because they decided to start having music guests. And they had Soupy from the Wonder Years play whatever Madden that was this year with Jeff.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And Jeff was like astonished of how much Soupy knew about football.
The lore. Oh.
Just in general. He's like, and the whole time Soupy's like, I don't play. I just read books, bro. I swear to God. He goes, if you come to a Wonder Year show, it's not the rock star backstage. Like, I'm reading a book on how football is played so I can understand the game more and shout at my television some more. And like, Soupy was destroying him, like, because it's football, like, and like calling the plays and like knew what the ref was going to say. And it was great because now you have this intersectionality of gamers are coming and I guess people who like Madden, but also musicians are getting introduced to this content too. So that, well, really just emo kids. So then after that, we have... They also did Rocket League with Phil and Ben from Neck Deep a couple of weeks later. And I remember that video came out about a year before Liz and I went and saw Neck Deep play acoustic. They did a signing for Peace and the Panic. That's, when Neck Deep was still putting out fire. And and I was like, let's get last in line, because if you stay last in line, you could probably hang out and chat for a bit. So we went all the way to the back of the line. And that's what happened. And the question I asked them was, I was like, who picked the game at Achievement Hunter, like that? And his response was literally, that's the most unique question we got the whole thing
we've ever experienced.
Yeah, they're like, no one's ever even brought that up. I was like, dude, I love Achievement Hunter. I freaked out. Like, so anyway. My point is that they had a lot of great ideas going. I don't know why they didn't follow that up. I never saw any other musicians. I never saw any.
Did they do something with AOC at one point, or am I misremembering?
You're misremembering. That's the streamers. That's not Achievement Hunter.
Okay. Yeah. I think they did something similar to that. Anyway.
Yeah.
So now, Achievement Hunter is going to stay up. They're just not going to be producing content. I think the next few weeks you will continue to see videos, and they're going to do retrospective-y type stuff.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, they're adding a new channel called Dog Bark, which is Michael, Trevor, Alfredo, and Joe, current cast members of Achievement Hunter. They're going to be doing improv and sketch comedy. Fun. So they're moving into a new direction, and their mentality is that they all got the chance to go off, or Jeff kind of built Achievement Hunter out of Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
He was given that chance, so they're giving these guys a new chance to build Dog Bark.
Yeah.
So it should be good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So where's Jeff going in all this?
That's a good question. I haven't heard anything about it. I would assume he's been like admin for the last couple of years anyway, so he hasn't been a cast member for a while.
Yeah.
So he's probably more on the back end of Rooster Teeth.
Got
overall.
it. Well, good luck to him. I wish him well. Hope it all works out. I thought they were all losing their jobs. If they're not, whatever. You guys are fine. All right. You had a successful. You had a legendary run. You bore a whole fucking genre of gaming content, and not even just like weird, like I'm playing. Like no, like you made like the gold standard of that genre. For like your name, Achievement Hunter's name will never be disputed. Like what they did for the gaming space.
Sure.
So it just sucks that it went the way it did and that nobody watches them anymore. So
that's like we said, it's the platform has changed and they are realizing they're not with the platform anymore. So they're doing. I mean, they're producing like actual real content that's out on TV and stuff. So
yeah,
they're still out there.
They're
just
also,
not doing.
are they not owned by Warner Brothers?
They are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're
So
they're
weird.
doing fine. They're just not doing YouTube stuff, or I guess YouTube gaming stuff anymore.
Got it. You know what? Whatever. It's fine. It'll all work
It's
out,
good.
right? Yeah, it'll all
Yeah,
work
they're
out.
all fine.
All right. So you know who's not fine? Everybody, the writers in Hollywood. The kids are not all right. Everybody.
They're not paying their rent.
So we all know that the Hollywood strike has been going on for like what 4 months at this point. The writers strike has been going on for about 4 months. And specifically, this is caused by the studios not wanting to allow the writers to feed their children, so to speak. So in this specific instance, we got an update that the writers' strike might actually be ending this weekend. Which the
we're
likes
recording
of,
this on Sunday evening.
Exactly.
You'll be listening to it the following Tuesday.
So it might have already went through. I have seen things go around that say, apparently, if they don't get a deal down tonight, they're never getting down a deal. And it's like, is a movie never going to come out again?
I
then
think that's all just talk.
Yeah, that is. There's also they want to get it done before the holiday,
Which is tomorrow.
which is tomorrow,
our time.
and it is. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here, so that means it's 6 o'clock in LA, and that's where they're working this all out. I would be happy to see. Listen, the fair deal is that the writers really get everything. That I don't want to open that can of worms, but the writers probably should get like 90% of what they're asking for. I think is like the best thing.
I think that the biggest takeaway for anybody who doesn't really know anything about what the writers are asking for is, think about how much your TV and movie watching experience has changed in the last decade. All of their contracts are based on regular cable television, and streaming is not in their contracts. So they're basically asking, hey, let's get with the times, and let's get it paid appropriately to what streaming numbers are versus syndicated television.
Right. The other thing is, as far as like staffing is concerned, how writers are paid, when they're paid, how much they're paid. I'll just be out with it. The only thing I disagree with is having a minimum number of writers on a show. Like, you don't need 12 writers for a show that only requires 8.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
then the production company's being wasteful. Because those writers could go work on another show. Like,
I think those things are going to be. Those are the things that are going to.
I think those will be hammered out, but
Right.
they can't move the line on the dollar amounts.
Yeah.
Like, they can't.
Well,
they just can't.
No, I have privy into like the background of like what the music
Oh shit!
like
A fucking
industries.
scoop from AI Mike, everybody.
I know a
Okay,
little bit of this, but
let's-
like what ASCAP or BMI ends up paying on music performed in TV shows, and what is digital or what is streaming is, when I'm talking about like a fraction of what it is for like cable television.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason it shouldn't be the same.
It shouldn't
Yeah.
be
At this
matching cable television.
Okay, so I saw a tweet earlier this week that said Amazon is going to be raising its price $2 per month, or they're going to have an ad tier program that will be the same price as what you're paying now, but now it has ads, right, for Amazon Prime Video. And it's just like, the quote tweet was like, isn't it so awesome how the industry shifted to a model that's not sustainable or profitable? Isn't it so awesome that we destroyed television just to bring back the television model? And guess what? It still doesn't fucking work.
And it's still busted as all hell.
Yeah, because there was the thing with the streaming service is the exclusivity, right? It's not just like TV, you can just fucking hook up any coaxial in your house, and you're at least gonna get 6 channels that have ads on it. You know what I mean? So that's the thing here is the entry, the bar to entry. So
One thing that I was thinking, like you know my stance. You know, anybody who's listening to this podcast knows my stance on like streaming versus cable, and like I don't think streaming moving towards like closer back to what cable is. I don't think that is a big deal at all. I think that's fine if it's sustainable. I had forgotten because it's been so long since I had cable. Fucking TV stations, they cut out shit out of the movies and they censor shit.
yeah.
Fucking, I don't care if you go turn on Netflix and it's exactly the same thing as cable, but there's no ads and they don't edit the content. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't care if I go back to paying cable type
dude.
money.
Yeah.
If they're
It's
not,
like when they
just
speed
leave me
movies
alone.
up.
Yeah. And it's like you take 4 hours to watch an hour and a half movie because of all the commercials.
Exactly. Yeah. Dude, when you try to watch The Dark Knight on TBS on a Saturday, you're there for fucking 3.5 hours.
Half the day.
And like they're gonna try and shove commercials between the last 15 minutes of the movie. So Joker's hanging off the side of the building. It's gonna fade to black and be like,
Activia.
"Hey, when was your last pap smear?" You know what I mean? Like, all right. But so the also other important part to here to remember is that the writers, what they're asking for monetarily is less than a percentage of the studio's yearly profits after expenses are
Less
paid.
than 1%?
Less than 1%.
For all of the studios.
For all of the studios. So it's not like these guys are going broke if they give them what they want.
Also,
I will say this though, that every studio has different demands, or has different needs. So they probably are ironing out those details too. Like Universal can do this, but Disney can do that. You know what I mean? Like they're probably
the streamers are in a totally different place.
Exactly. And then you think God, who was the other one? It's just weird how the writers, they need the same thing when the studios are going to have different needs. But the other thing is also that, like, really how broke can they possibly go? Because A24 is...
They cut a side deal.
Yeah, and even Taylor Swift, she cut a side deal too. So anyone who's involved with her production of putting that together can openly promote it as a SAG member.
I saw somewhere that, like, the studios... are estimated to have lost in the time of this strike about $400 million.
That's just Warner Brothers.
That's just Warner?
Yeah.
And what actors are, I don't know if it's the actors or writers, but one of the groups is, what they're asking for comes out to about $45 million. It's like, just, you're burning money to fuck these people over.
Yeah.
Yep.
It costs you 1/10 to just pay them.
Yeah.
Of what
no,
you're
no,
losing.
I agree. Yeah. So, but that's where we're at. It should, hopefully we'll have something by the end of the night, maybe midnight here, and then I'll be able to cut this at some point and be like, hey, so this shit happened, who knows?
You know what's the outcome.
It happened in real time.
We're here.
All right. So with that said, Liz.
Elizabeth.
Did you have something you want to talk about with everyone this week?
We played Party Animals. Okay, you can talk. I can bring my face up. We played Party Animals. Me, Nick, and Pat. Friday and Saturday night.
Not Mike, because he doesn't like
Not
being friends
Mike.
with
Nope,
us.
Mike actually
I hate
hates
you
us.
guys.
Mike has
I'm too busy drinking.
Mike has a family now, so he thinks he's better than us.
Mike's family in Roku City.
Yeah, exactly.
My Roku family needs attending to.
They're no longer refugees and they can't play Party Animals with us.
Where did this accent come from?
All right. Well, anyway, listen, we played some Party Animals this weekend, and man, that is great. It's fucking.
Great.
I could go into the minutia of like, oh, I don't like when they, but it works. Like it does. Like I was laughing hard as hell. The tension in the matches are great. The
ton of game modes.
That honestly, so much content. And it feels fresh every time because everything's so erratic. You never know which way is gonna go. Matchmaking was a little bit hard to figure out.
I'm wondering if they're gonna. A lot of people their stats or their reviews on Steam were very mixed because so many people were mad that there was no local play. So I'm wondering if they're going to add that and patch that in the near future.
Well, all right. You want to know what pisses me off? I fucking hate that the Lego games don't have online play, and that's why those games get negative reviews, is because they only allow you to do couch co-op. So this is the inverse, where this game is specifically to be played online. And could you imagine playing that in a room full of people?
This would be this is perfect for a room full of friends.
I 100% agree.
This is like Quiplash, this is something when you have all your friends over, you're a little bit drunk, you beat the shit out of each other as a little corgi and an otter.
Yep. You're like, hey, why don't you stay back?
Yeah.
Can y'all go over it a little bit? Because I've watched slight gameplay, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
So to anybody who has played Gang Beasts in the past, this is the spiritual successor. I don't know if it's made by the same people, but it's virtually the same game. And you're just a bunch of derpy little animals with ragdoll physics whacking the shit out of each other. They have a few different game modes. There's arcade, Last Stand, that's kind of like a battle royale. What was the other
team play?
Team play, and it's just a bunch of fun little challenges.
Yeah. So here, I just pull up this video.
Shout out to SMII7Y.
Yeah, he's got 6 million subs, so he don't need us. But
well, I mean, we're using his content, so we got to give him credit.
He's got custom emojis. God damn it!
So, dude, the duck.
Well, there's
this
a
particular
duck
game
and
mode.
There's two different ducks.
This particular game mode.
Are there two ducks?
No, there's
There's the duck, and then there's the
Psyduck.
There's Psyduck. There's the ditto in the duck costume.
Yeah, there you go. Two ducks.
Oh wow, that really does look like Psyduck. What the fuck? Holy shit, that was a good way to put it. Ditto in the fucking.
Yeah.
So this is arcade, right? This is
Probably team play.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there's a bunch of fun party games where you have to be the last man standing or the last team standing, eliminate each other. There's fun weapons like the boomerang, the ice gun, the taser. Oh, this game is so much fun. The hockey where everybody gets a goalie, or the shield and the goalie. That one duck kept fucking me up that one night.
And you can get knocked out with the puck, which is even more hysterical. So if someone hits at you,
that is an interesting mechanic. We should talk about that. So there's knockouts in this game. So if somebody hits you hard enough, or just at the right angle, you get knocked out for max 8 to 10 seconds.
Yeah. And you're just sitting there button mashing, just yelling.
In that time frame, your opponent can pick you up if they get you at the right angle and can fucking yeet you off the side of the map. Bridge breakers.
Did you guys realize that if your teammate gets knocked down, you can pick them up and shake them around to wake them up?
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's cool.
The first time we played the fucking football game, I scored the goal. Or no, it was the electric game.
Yeah.
I scored in the wrong goal, Mike. And then every single time after that, I scored all the points. I was such an asshole about it. I was like, I got to score the other team's goals for them. That's the other thing, too. This game has really fun voice shit talk. It's as fun as, what's that one where everybody's pretending they're dying?
What?
What?
Battle
Bit.
Yeah, Battle Bit.
Okay.
That's great.
Battletoads.
That's a great fucking game. Where everybody's pretending they're
duck penis. I also think the community is it's weird because it's such a lighthearted game, but people get really into it.
Yeah, here's the sub. The sub one's good too.
There was one guy who would not. I guess I did something to piss him off, and we're playing in the same lobby with the same people across several games. Guy would not leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, dude, you can give someone a hard on for you real quick, and this is Nick's favorite. I think
this is my favorite.
Yeah,
level,
this is your favorite. So this one, so if you hold on to the orange stuff, it keeps you. You're fine.
The heavier stuff.
Yeah, the heavier stuff. Where if you after the first one, if you hold on to anything other than the chain or the heavier stuff, you're fucked. So I love this. I love them hanging on to each other, creating the chain, or the shit flying behind it and knocking you off the chain.
Oh, also, Mike, when you get knocked out, you can spectate and throw shit at the current players.
I was just about to bring this up because...
is that the little garbage thingies they have?
Yeah.
Yes. So any fish, bomb, or banana peel you see is a spectator throwing it in, and Nick was just hanging on to the sub the other night, and I threw a fish at him. It knocked his character out into the water, and he died. So you can still kill people while
Still
like
affect like the gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this map too, where the piece of the ice breaks off, and like you have a chance to swim back up.
Oh, you're right. This is like the Mario Party mini games.
Yeah,
It's just
it
like a
for
whole-
sure is. That's
And
literally all I think about.
It's a mini game. It's a
Yeah.
collection of mini games. They're fun. I'm not taking anything away from that. And it's got a very unique control system with a very unique input latency for that for that added tension. You know, because everything's really wishy-washy.
Yeah, everything's
it's
real, like,
very hard to
jello-y.
control.
And so, like, any clothes you're seeing are all
call them the
skins that are you
they're-
can collect. That
They're
are really fun.
agnostic controls. These wishy-washy fucks. What were you saying, Liz?
I was saying, like, all the skins make it really fun. Like, a lot of the stuff you're seeing here, like the different outfits on like that owl and everything, like
You mean
this-
Hedwig?
Yeah, Hedwig and like the crocodile. I don't know if the crocodile comes with sunglasses, but like
Oh shit! Look at him go.
Look at him
there's a
go,
fish.
yeah!
Bye.
You got yeeted.
Yo, how are they not getting DMCA'd for these costumes? Because there's a Neo one too, and one of the characters straight up looks like
Oh,
Garfield.
I was looking
They're all-
because
they're
the
all
way
parody.
they're like naming them.
Yeah.
I saw one on a dog that looks like Russell from Up, like the
Yeah.
Boy Scout outfit.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's called like Camper, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
It's
the one-
called My
Russell.
Wife Died in the first 5 minutes.
the Neo
Weirdly
costume,
on the nose.
The Neo costume is called the One, so it's like they're just
Yeah.
like slightly off.
I love this
Yeah.
map. This map's
That
fucking
one's fun,
awesome.
too.
This is a great
The
map.
the great thing about this game is you could easily jump in, play a few rounds, and
Jump
go
out.
about
Yeah,
your
There's-
and
day.
you want to know what? It's also the level design is great too, because it really not only enforces the gameplay but also the narrative. You know,
No.
What is the narrative?
Murder?
definitely caravan
Survival of the fittest.
Bombs, a
Oh,
duck.
shit. Oh.
And like sometimes you really should fall off stuff. Like the physics is hysterical.
It is really funny how when I try and throw someone off and I accidentally throw myself in front of a train and the other person is completely fine or just skirted out of the way real quick. Or
Makes
in
sense.
times where I'll be like, Nick, grab this guy's legs. And like by the time we go to throw him off, all three of us end up and he gets back up. Like, so yeah, it's really funny. It's you know what? I hate this word, but it's manic. You know what I mean?
It
Yeah.
is.
It's zany. It's got this kinetic energy to it.
Oh, zany.
That
Yeah.
Now, I don't think it's perfect.
Oh, and the music.
the music is
Dude, like this thing is filled with like Wolfpack level
Yeah.
funk music.
it's
Oh my
fucking
god.
great.
And it's
The Wolf
loud.
is real,
It
okay?
starts out really loud. Like you log on and it's like
So,
Like, okay.
so a couple of things that I can critique. Number one, I think that the camera system can be worked on a
It's
little
a
bit.
little wonky.
You should be able. There's like, you see how the camera just went through all those trees. Those trees you should be able to dissolve when your camera goes
Like
through them,
blur
so you
out,
can
yeah,
see.
yeah.
And number two, it cuts in a little close sometimes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's on.
Especially the train station
Yes,
one,
the
all
train-
the pillars and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Is the camera can be worked on, but that's a patch. Number two,
I don't know. If this is the same manufacturer as Gang Beasts, that was always a problem and they never fixed it.
number
update on that. I did find that they are somehow related via
Yeah.
a Google search, but Recreate Games, it looks like this might be like their first game that they've
Maybe-
come
so
out
it's
with.
like a spin-off
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
developer.
like
Yeah.
a Lies of P, but for
Yeah.
which by
Right.
the way, side note, I started that. I got an hour in, fucking unbelievable.
That guy's eyes are very blue.
So anyway, yeah, I really what's it called? I really like this game. The other thing I wanted to just critique real quick, or just give some criticism to, is the grab function. I think it's a little bit too loose. I think
that's part of it.
Well, yeah, but also there's some times where it's like, all right, I'm going to pick up this tennis racket or whatever,
It's very
and I
difficult.
accidentally got the floor or I got the wall. I just feel like maybe a little bit more help.
Or if you grab the top of the tennis racket, you can't use it.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yes.
drop it and
or
grab
like
it
you
again.
grab
Oh.
it and it's behind you, and now
Yeah.
you gotta fucking do some you gotta drop it, and then it's just
I feel like they bring that up in the tutorial though. I think like to your point, some of it is a little, it can be a little messy, but they do say in the tutorial, like you have to like basically stand next to it with your right or left hand and then press the grab button to be able to pick it up properly, and then you can spin around with a tennis racket and beat people up. There's like a baseball bat.
Right.
Like it's a little
I think
crazy.
part of it too is that adds to the zaniness. The
Yeah.
fact that you're like struggling to pick shit up and somebody else can come in and grab it out of your hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's true.
I think zany is honestly like the best word because
Yeah.
we were just yelling at each other, at the people in the game.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. And then when we kill each other, or like when like all of a sudden like I'm one-on-one with this last guy and I'm fucking dogging him, like, and I'm putting up a big fucking fight, and all of a sudden I get nailed with a fish and I go, no, I almost had him. And I guess Nick didn't hear that. And he goes, all right, at least I stopped Yellow from winning. I was like, I'm fucking Yellow, bro.
Well, that's the thing.
And then he goes, oh, I'm not paying attention to the names, just the color. Like, Nick would be fighting other people and be like, come here, Pat. And I'd be like, what? I'm over here. And then other times he'd be fighting me and then being like, hey, this fucking gorilla is pissing me off. I go, yeah, it's me, bro. Like,
Yeah, I guess
Back off.
just so you know, some of the rounds, you have to win 3 times. So like I'd be on a team, Nick would be on a team, and then Pat would be on a team. Infamously,
or Pat would not have any fucking
Yes.
teammates ever.
infamously, Nick was on a team with someone named Tummy Toucher.
Tummy
who
Toucher, my boy.
was an
it?
absolute
Brent?
maniac.
What was his name? Brent Hunter or something like that? The other guy?
Oh yeah, Brocco something.
Something
yeah.
like that. The
There have
other
been
guy that
some
was a killer.
wild names. We had Hellmouth,
People.
Tummy Toucher.
Hellmouth was a fucking vicious competitor.
He was. There
I
were
got
some
some guy-
people very serious in this game.
I got some guy on my team because a lot of games, I just never had teammates. I don't understand. I guess it's a referendum on how
You
I
can
make
have up
friends.
to 8 people
But
in a
anyway,
party.
I was like, all right, I got a teammate, and we spawned in. The first thing he does is punches me and knocks me out cold. I go, yeah, great, yeah, he's gonna be fun. And then we went on to win that motherfucker. That was the one where you were hanging on the last round, and we're like you literally were saying, as soon as this fan is done blowing or whatever, like you were gonna kick my ass, and then the fucking handle breaks and he flies off, gets a ring. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding? I'm like, there's no way. There's a God. There has to be. Like, we were freaking out at like 2 a.m. It's a great game. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. I saw fucking Mr. 7 out of 10 himself, IGN, gave it just that, a 7 out of 10. It's just like, what else is it supposed to do? What else? You can mod it too, probably. Oh
better.
my God, I didn't even think about that.
What?
What if they open up like a custom like level
skin?
editor or
A
like
level mode.
That would
or
be
like
fucking awesome.
you know what I mean? Like have you guys ever played Golf It? Or have you played Golf It?
No.
Mike, you've at least watched me on
Yeah.
Twitch
Is
play
that the
Golf It.
Discord
I've played it
golf
with
game?
y'all.
Okay, Golf It is a game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay, where you can just create your own level and physics using the game's assets, and now there's just a plethora
Beef
of
jerky.
little jerky. Now there's just a plethora of custom-made games and levels you can play. If they can somehow get that into the game while also, doing sponsored deals and everything, I think this game has a long life ahead of it. Certainly more than Fall Guys, because Fall Guys was fun, but I felt like Fall Guys was a one-trick pony. You know what I mean?
Well, they had the different seasons and everything, so like new shit did come out, but we kind of lost interest in it before like the season 2 even came out, or maybe season 3.
Well,
I think
Nick, that was something you said I think it was last night or Friday night. You said that we hadn't played the same level in probably 6 to 10 games. I think there's at least 8 different.
That is true. We do consistently play different levels.
and the different game modes on those levels.
Yeah, and also since it's not a smorgasbord of people, there is some sort of like tactfulness about how you approach the situation, because it's not just like, everybody get the fucking crown. Like, I don't know if I'm playing with the glue sniffers or the fucking like MOG, you know what I mean?
So, like-
whereas after the first round, you figure out real quick if you've got this or not, you know what I mean? And sometimes it really comes down to just like a misclick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On anybody's end. That's what I love about it more, is that there is a skill gap, whereas Fall Guys was just like, let's fucking get it, boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I'll go back to PUBG, because PUBG has that, that skill itch where it's like, I'll fuck you up because I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Whereas Fall Guys, I feel like it was just a fucking
It's
mess.
just a roll
all
of the fucking
time.
dice.
And
Yeah.
what I liked about the custom match last night is it was the three of us, and then like it just like matched you with up to 5 random people, and we were voting for which area we wanted to play, like which game we wanted to play next. So like if I wanted to play one, like yeah, Pat and Nick usually voted for it too, but if the other people didn't, and there was 5 of them and only 3 of us, like we played what they wanted to play, which was like
I know you don't
cool.
know this, but that's been around since like Halo 3.
Yeah,
So-
no, I didn't play it.
So it kind of, that's why no one's
get
brought
with
up.
it, Liz.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so sorry. I'll get off my cozy game ass and
Well-
start playing real
Well,
games.
the thing I wanted to say off of what you bring up a good point, and that is that this game is not a battle royale, and that's what I like the most, is that this is a multiplayer party game.
Yeah.
We are here to do this for multiple rounds, have a good time, and not care about the stakes. Like, that's what I like.
There are some like King of the Hill games,
Yes,
but it's
yeah.
never
Yeah.
battle royale.
But it's never
or
like I'm
blown
dead
out.
and it's gone. It's like I can
Entirely.
just keep going until the timer runs out.
Me
You know what I
trying
mean?
to drag you across like a fake soccer field so that you can't get to the ball is absolutely
That's true too.
hysterical.
I forgot about the sports games. Oh my god, this game has so much content. I love it so much. Well, listen, it's 10s all around here, so go check it out. Okay, that's pretty much. There's no story. There's nothing. Just jump right in, feet first.
It's only $20.
Yeah, it's very. It's pretty. I got the $30 version, and I don't know what more I
need
got
the
for
skins.
it. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's why you have all those skins.
yeah. But I only got like a Taurus. That the guy with the cape and everything. Liz has a little Red Riding Hood hat.
I
for the
got that from,
the rabbit is fucking scary. Okay, the rabbit is scary to look at.
I was okay. So this is like the last thing I'll say. I was looking at the shop last night, so you can convert coins into these secret eggs that get you more skins, or you can unlock other players. So there's like you get standard animals, and then there's other ones. Or you can convert like the money you get from winning games into.
You tell
what
me
looks
that
like
rabbit
treats.
isn't gonna fucking stab your
Yeah.
eyes out with a spork.
Can
Okay.
Can you see if you can find my player with the red cape? Because you look. Oh, there it is. Pat, the
You mean
top.
this guy right
No, go scroll up. The middle image. So I have the cape, that one right there.
I like the SWAT bunny. The
Yeah.
one that's gonna violate your rights.
So that's what I was playing as
Is
last
it
night.
Midsommar?
it's what is this? Is a Pokemon? This is some sort of.
That's Mew.
Is that the Pokemon that's the most fuckable based on?
Okay, I don't know.
Garbodor.
I don't,
Garbodor.
Nick,
I don't-
Nick,
I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we got to that point. I said
Wait.
the bunny was gonna try and kill people.
What is the bunny on the left, the second row, the one with like the Microsoft background? That's horrifying. Like imagine turning on your computer to
animal
that.
abuse? Yeah, exactly. Like do that right down the fucking.
Oh my god.
That's going to be in the Instagram
That's
post, isn't it?
thumbnail
Sure
right.
will.
Please give me a timestamp right now. Party Animals is good shit. So check it out. 10s all around. Mike, that means you too.
Yeah,
I'll
Mike.
check it
Hang out
out.
with us.
Please.
Come hang out.
We had our cameras on while we were playing. That's how much fun we were having.
Guys, that's hot.
Once again, I know you don't know this, but we do that all the time.
I don't. This is the first time I get to be involved.
Liz is a new game.
You've been playing PUBG with us for
Listen,
like a year.
Liz is a new gamer, so I'm trying to bring her up to
Yeah,
speed
yeah.
on everything. You know,
This is like Captain America
Yeah.
with.
Let's talk about our main topic this week. So we watched No One Will Save You on Hulu, which was on nobody's radar. I didn't even know it was coming out, but good old Chris Stuckman did a video on it. And I was like, I would like to check this movie out. And we did. So I guess I'll get started.
It's
Non-spoilers.
the beginning of Huluween.
Yes, Hulu. You want to know what? I wanted to talk about this with you guys because isn't it funny how Hulu's horror movies have been killing it the past 2 years? Prey, the Hellraiser remake, and
What was that clown one?
there's a
that them?
clown one.
Was that them?
I don't know what you're saying.
Hulu's
right now.
killing it in general.
And now this, No One Will Save You. Because I quite frankly, I think this is good. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
it was
this.
good.
I
I
enjoyed this
liked it.
quite a lot. And I love that it was only 93 minutes.
Yeah.
That was also very
Alexis
nice.
was. I was like, "Oh, do you want to watch this with me?" And she's like, "I don't know if I want to watch it." I was like, "It's 90 minutes."
Yeah.
She's like, "Okay."
Yeah. Fine.
I did not enjoy this.
Damn.
Damn. Damn.
Mike saw that
Damn.
headstone and he's like, I'm out.
I mean, it definitely curried the flavor for the rest. No, but like,
Whoa,
I don't know,
okay.
man. I didn't think that it. I don't think that it really did anything that was like interesting or fun or like made me
Which
care about it.
You know what's fun? Okay, so this is. I feel like. Okay, here's what I was thinking. When I was watching this movie, truthfully, I didn't think Mike was gonna like it. I wasn't sure about you, but the reason that I liked it is all the reasons why you guys like talk to me better than I did, and that's because I like the fucking in your face, like creepy, skulking around, stalking stuff, and I think you guys are more like the metaphysical, like how does it tie into all that narrative and everything. I'm just saying taste. I'm not saying if it's good or bad, and I think that's why this attracted me, because about the first 45 minutes of this is straight up what they tell you it is on the poster, because I don't want to spoil anything for the ending. And then the next 40 minutes after that is just like, let's just drop acid with this concept. And I thought it was very interesting. I actually liked, but it gave me what I was looking for that, like, that action-y smash and, like, you know, chase scenes, like horror film stuff. Like, it gave me those moments that I would be looking for, those tense moments.
Right.
And I think people who like those tense moments would appreciate this as well.
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
I'll just run through real quick what I liked about it. I really thought the the creature designs were awesome. The CGI was great. The practical was great. I thought the pacing was really good through 90% of it, if not the whole thing. The set design was really cool. Like the performance of the lead character and all the other actors were great. I think the ending was like, you know, it didn't really do anything spectacular. There wasn't really a big finish, but I enjoyed the journey.
Yeah, and you want to know what I liked about the ending? It was, I'll put it like this: it wasn't fake. Whereas in some movies, okay, there's one movie where I'm thinking about, but if it's the Babadook. Have you seen the Babadook?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the ending of that movie is sort of like metaphysical, where it's like there's not really a ghost in the basement.
Well,
it's just her manifestation of depression, and she finds out how to manage it through life.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I'm not sure if I'm right here, but I don't know if you're using metaphysical the right way.
Just let him have it.
I am now.
Because I was confused what you meant by that. But yeah, this one definitely.
This
does
one
the
had
same
some
thing
hard,
where it's like
yeah.
I think you mean allegorical, as in
yeah.
it like shit stands for shit.
No. I mean literally like supernatural, also real world type of like move through space and time. Like that was the Babadook. This is not that.
Well, the big thing about the Babadook is that your boogans. It's a representation of some other problem that the person has in their life.
Where this was actual boogans just for boogans.
Well, no.
It was boogans for boogans.
I mean,
it was boogans for boogans.
They were actually there.
Yes,
but also
I like that.
It's like it tied in with her actual trauma and everything else, her depression and all that. It's but
it's not an internalization of the problem.
Right.
It's an It's an external force that forces her
to reckon with it.
I like that approach so much more. And like it was, I mean, there is even a point where I was even thinking like, oh shit, is it gonna be like this motherfucker's this and this? And I was thinking, no, that's too comic booky. I was like, I'm just gonna enjoy the ride, like, because I don't know where this is going.
Mike,
but,
tell us why you didn't like it.
I don't know if like I don't know. I don't want to say I didn't get the movie. I got it. I got what it was going for, but I just kind of felt like if it was a movie, so this is a movie about like home invasions and aliens, and we won't spoil much more outside of that. But it's kind of just like, to me, it just basically did like some very not fun, kind of like happenstance, accidental Home Alone type things. And then like, you know, like Pat said,
that's so funny.
Last 40 minutes was like, let's take acid. And you were like, okay, that's cool. I was like, did you guys just not fucking know how to like do a single thing with this? And you were just, it did feel like that. It felt like they were like, yeah, and then what if this happened?
I just love the
like,
implication of Macaulay Culkin stabbing Joe Pesci in the head with part of his Lego set.
No spoilers.
That's in the trailer, basically.
Yeah. So I haven't seen a trailer or a single ad for this. I watched Chris Stuckman's video. He said that he liked it, and he said that that the ending would be very controversial. And with that, I checked Rotten Tomatoes. It had a 78% critic score, and it had I believe it was like 76 or 75 or something like that.
We're down
it's a little low.
We're down to 76 and 59.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't think
okay.
people are gonna like the ending. I very much like the ending.
I don't know if I liked or disliked the ending. I was kind of felt it left a little bit empty, but it's tough because there's no dialogue in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's tough to have.
That's a good point.
It's hard. It's really hard to wrap it up. And to me, this felt like the type of movies that we should be making, these low to mid budget movies. We're taking a chance on this interesting project. Okay, alien home invasion, no dialogue. The whole story is show, don't tell.
I love that. I love that.
That was really interesting.
So, let's just let's put it in park here for a second. You guys know why this is on Hulu?
Because they bought the rights to it.
Because before, when Disney bought Fox,
Because this movie the idea was conceived by Martin Hulu Sr., the head of Hulu.
Mr. Hulusi.
he pulled the wrong wishbone on Thanksgiving. It was horrible. He took it out on his wife. Anyway, when Fox was still its own entity, they had all these contracts in place to make all these movies. So they were making these movies when the buyout happened from Disney. Unfortunately, Fox did not have a streaming service. So they had made a deal with HBO that if their movies go to theaters, after they leave theaters, they have to do like however many weeks on the streaming service, right?
On
HBO Max, right? However, Disney was like, well, we're not fucking just throwing our shit to the wind. We're just going to skip the theater and put this right on a streaming service. And that started with Prey. And then it was Hellraiser. And then, so don't be surprised if every Fox Studios movie like that meets a certain parameter just goes straight to Hulu now because they don't want it going to HBO, because this was also in the era of streaming where they didn't even talk about licensing fees. So it might have just been going there. You know what I mean? Because it'll be there. People will watch it, I guess. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just picturing you're like, oh, this is before Fox had their own streaming. Just like, oh, imagine if this movie came out on Fox Nation.
It's Kelsey Grammer's network.
Judge Janine Pirro is like, and up next, our prime time schedule showing.
You gotta be louder and more shrill.
Of what's this movie called? Oh, No One Will Save Us. I'll tell you who's gonna save us. Trump. More tomorrow. Have a good night.
Here's Tucker Carlson.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're going into this now, and then it starts the 2-hour block. All right, so back to the actual movie review. What do you guys think of her performance? What's her name? Caitlin Denver, I think her name is.
Dever.
Caitlin Dever. She is fantastic.
She carried this whole movie without saying. She said maybe 6 words the whole time.
Yep.
No dialogue. I think she did a great job.
I think every single emotion and intention that you were looking for in that character and any of the beats that were that she portrayed, 100%. There was a few things here and there where like it was between her and an alien, something that obviously wasn't in front of her, or like something that she had to act to where someone's like, look at the tennis ball, honey. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Those were a bit weird, weird and shit, but like this stuff, but I'm not going to use anything too specific, but I'll just say scenes like the stuff behind the fridge, behind the fridge door, the eyes, or when she sees them in the sky, or when she, what I mean? Like there is some real death glares in this movie that just give you the fucking willies.
Yeah. The scene where it's red, I'll just say that much if you'll get it from there. Like that performance that was
cool,
like really chilling and that like heightened that level of, okay, we're not saying anything into the movie into like a level of paralysis with it on top of it. And I was like, that's cool that she's not even talking. And then she further elevated that feeling of helplessness by her acting.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. What'd you guys think of like the the scares. You know, let's just call it what it is. What do you guys think of the scares?
I think it did a good job of being. I keep comparing it to. There's a short story by Philip K. Dick. I think it's called The Hanging Man. It kind of reminded me of that, where basically there's a guy in his basement working on something, and he comes out and people are acting weird, and he knows something's off, and there's a man being hung from like a light pole in town, and he mentions it to somebody else, and that clues everybody in who is now part of this like hive mind, body snatcher type thing. Like, he's not one of us. It kind of reminded me of that, a little bit of Signs.
Yes, definitely inspired by Signs.
Signs a lot, and there was other parts too where people were referencing an episode of the Twilight Zone called The Invaders. I went and watched that episode after this, and they did a really great job of doing that thing of where it's the scares aren't super scary, the environment and it's just bearing down on you the whole time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd say. There's no real jump scares because there's that's cheap. This is just a feeling of you cannot escape this no matter what you do.
No one will save you.
No one will save you.
The biggest thing for me in this movie, like, it's not jump scares. You're not scared of like the aliens because they're not like big, scary, nasty monsters or anything. But
except for
it's
that one.
It's the lack of knowing, and I think that's also like added on to by the lack of dialogue and exposition other than anything from like what's actually happening. Because like you can't be clued into what's going to happen. You can't be clued into how people feel outside of their emotion or what they're thinking or what they're planning or what they're going to do. So you're kind of just like, it's the surprise and like you said, the just situation becoming like heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier.
Not to mention our lead character is ostracized from the community already. So literally, it's even if you were to go to town, there's no one who's going to help you out of this situation.
That's right. I felt that was a little heavy-handed.
That was weird.
That was a little weird. It felt like it would have been the right moment to break and have conversation, but the film style was to go without dialogue.
Yeah, I get what you're talking about when they go to the police station.
Yeah. Don't say too much after that.
Right.
But yeah.
But I get what you're saying, but I disagree because they were able to have that. They had a conversation.
They did.
With the
They
acting.
did. You're right, actually. Now that you say that, fuck.
The
God
one
damn, this
time
movie's
that
so
was
good.
heavy-handed, the one time they went too far, as Mike mentioned in our text thread, was she goes to her mother's tombstone, and it literally says, like, here lies mom, mother of main character.
Well, didn't they also do that with the... Oh, I don't want to ruin it because that's part of the spoilers.
Yes, they do, but they've done it significantly after the mother.
Yeah.
I also thought, like, I was, like, obviously the thing focuses on the other person here without spoiling it.
Her friend.
But I was like, oh, there seemed to be a lot of weight on the mother and then nothing that occurred with that.
It would have been interesting if they made it like something happened between her and the mother in the aftermath of what happened between her and her friend.
Do
But they really left it open.
Do you guys know what the dates were on the tombstone for the mom? Because
I know the friend.
I know the friend.
2012.
Yes, I know that they were babies, but
It's basically modern times.
Yes, I have some comments on that, but I think it's going to be
we can
spoilers.
go ahead and get to spoilers. So we'll just rate this right now. Anything else for non-spoilers? I'm good to rate this and then just get right into the conversation because I would love to talk about some of the allegory in this movie and the details, but most importantly, we'll get to that ending because that ending is fucking wild.
Yeah.
All right.
Num, 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 num.
All right. So I'd give this like a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think this fits right in that category of small budgeted Hulu one-offs that are excellent. And that would be Prey, Hellraiser, and now this movie too. I think this is exactly what it didn't advertise itself as anything more than what it was, and I felt like it delivered on all of those things. I also kind of like that it crept up on me. You know what I mean? I see the trailer now in front of me, and that's it. It's giving you, it's setting your expectations. It doesn't give away anything close to the ending. However, it is a home invasion movie with aliens, and it is very good. So, Nick,
I'd give it an 8.
Okay, cool.
Really enjoyed it, and it was short and the kind of movie that needs to be made more often these days.
I agree. Liz?
Yeah, I'm going to go... I think I'm going to go 8.5. because I think I liked it a little bit more. I just think, I don't know. I think because I found it predictable, but like not necessarily in a bad way. Like that I enjoyed that I understood what was going on 99% of the time. But yeah, I give it 8.5. I really enjoyed it.
All right, Mike, time to sink this score like a rock.
Mike's gonna ruin the curve.
Maybe that's what I was also
I'm gonna give it a
anticipating.
6. I'm gonna give it a 6. Like I thought there was a lot of like the acting was really redeemable. The fact that like they're like from the sense of what you guys said, where it's like more movies like this should be made because I think they're interesting and I think they're good to do outside of the standard bullshit. I just felt like the premise for everything wasn't as great as I thought it could be. Visually it was great, the acting was great, but like the story to me, I was kind of like, there's nothing really doing it for me. And like we'll get into it in like a hot minute about like the spoilers with like what it stands for and shit like that. And I just felt it was like really like didn't do anything emotionally at all for me.
I think the thing to keep in mind too is that I don't know if this is actually the case, but it feels like the kind of movie that it's like, this is somebody's directorial debut and this is a showcase of what they can do. I don't really think that this is meant to be like, oh, what an amazing story. It's like, how do you create an amazing atmosphere? And you know, like I said, I think all of the sets, the designs, the CGI, the practical effects, all those were fucking killer. The one weak point I would say is the storytelling. So I get where you're coming from.
He wrote 8. He has.
I was just about to come in with a fun fact on
he's
Brian
credited
Duffield.
as writing 8 episodes of the new King Kong television show, Skull Island.
Also, do you know what other movie that Brian Duffield produced? Was a producer on this year?
Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
That makes a bit of sense.
It does have that vibe.
That's the writer
So he's the director, writer, producer, and screenwriter for this, and then for Cocaine Bear, he's listed as a producer.
Yeah, it's not bad by any means. I just wasn't thrilled.
It's not bad. I just gave it a 6. You know, it's fine.
6 is not a bad score.
Which, like, to be fair,
Says
that's what
you.
the audience gave it. Like,
6
that's
is-
the
that's true.
He's
general
right.
consensus
Yeah,
is.
and we're more
with
in
Mike.
line with like the critical response.
Audience
Yeah.
can literally, you know what? Never
Eat
mind.
my ass. Is that what you're gonna say?
I was gonna say that, but then I remembered I have a job. So anyway,
I'm
All right,
employed now.
spoilers.
so let's go into spoilers. So let's start at the top.
I was gonna say, can we just talk about the end? Like, can we go?
You know what?
Can we go right
God
into that?
damn it! Every time I'm like, let's just get right to the ending. Nick will be like, hold up, before we get to the ending. And then this is the one
I'm sorry,
time I'm like,
to me,
let's start
the
from the
ending is
top.
the most like
and you're just like, let's
thought-provoking
get
part
to
of
the
this.
end. All right. Well, I just wanted to say that this movie really is, the first half of it is the alien invasion, home invasion part. The second half of it is like, that's the weird like Christ allegory, like coming to terms with oneself type of thing. It's weird.
Christ allegory.
I was gonna say, what are you talking about with religion in this? Where'd you get that?
There's a little bit of what's it called? There's a little bit of Christ-like imagery and Christian stuff in there as far as like cleansing one's soul, especially like when you think about the scene where
I
she like
get that.
literally like takes the host, you know what I mean, from the alien, and it goes into her body and everything, and then she ends up rejecting it and shit like that. Like there's a lot of
Okay.
cleansing the soul.
I'm
and
gonna take your word for it since you went to Catholic
Guillermo
school.
del Toro actually was the one who did the
like
breakdown
confession.
himself on his Twitter. So like I saw it too when I was watching. I was like, that's a little, because you know I grew up in
Okay.
the fucking
The
Catholic
body of
church, so-
Christ.
yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah,
felt
and
like
her,
it had a little
doing
bit.
confession, writing the letters.
That's
shit
what I'm
like
saying.
That.
Like it has that type of vibe to it. I don't think it's overt. I think it's an exploration, or it might be subliminal because he too might have been brought up in that environment, and that's why it just permeates the work. You know what I mean? But it's there. It's certainly there. You know.
Yeah.
Just watch Man of Steel.
I
You
get
know.
that.
What I'm
You
talking
have
about.
you have the rebirth. You have like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So
Real quick aside, I finally watched Superman Red Sun.
good, right?
It was very
Good
good.
as fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we get to why
Holy
I was
shit, huh?
asking about why like the mom dying? I was curious if that had anything to do with the way the house looked and the way she still dressed. Like, have you guys seen It Follows? I know.
Yeah.
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 We all
So,
watched
like,
it together. Yeah.
I don't know if I've said this to you guys. I know I've said it before. One of my favorite parts of that movie is that you don't know when that movie takes place. Like you have no clue.
Right.
And the clam phones.
Yes,
It's
the clam
so weird
phones.
how-
You've got cars from like the 70s. You've got cars from the 90s. You've got cars from the early 2000s.
It's so weird how the four of us who watched It Follows together have been having the same conversation
watch
about
it.
It Follows for almost a decade together.
So-
yeah, we had just started dating.
Was
You watched
this
that?
at the-
I watched-
This is at Larchwood.
Larchwood.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
watched it before that, but it's fine.
Okay, anyway.
So I like that, like, she had like a different sense of style than maybe you'd see in what I'm presuming is 2022. I don't have the camera on you. I got the camera on me.
Oh, okay.
Like the car is clearly like it's an old Subaru, like late 90s, early 2000s.
I felt a connection with that lady. I was
He
like,
did.
hey.
But like clearly she has not updated that house in 20 to 30 years.
Well,
so
it's
I'm-
some like farmhouse that like only has one water line and shit. like
Yeah,
that.
and it's
but it also
obviously
shows
like.
but she
us a
lives in
rotary
modern
phone,
town.
no cell phone.
But then there's like somebody in town driving like a brand new Toyota Corolla that's like about to run her over.
Can you say that again?
Toyota Corolla.
New Toyota Corolla. You sounded like fucking,
You know
what's his
you
name
know what?
from the B-52s?
Yeah.
Then she was driving a brand new Toyota Corolla.
I got all the accents today. But I was just
You know what?
wondering
You know what?
if like
What accent is that?
I don't
I'm
know.
curious
I
to
don't know this man from
B-52s.
B-52.
All
Fred something.
right. Anyway.
But I'm just like wondering if like that had to do with like her mental state as well.
For sure.
besides,
She's
I think it
frozen in
meant like
time.
there's a whole thing
Yeah.
about her mentally being stunted at basically like
12.
12 or whatever
Yeah,
years
and you
old
wanna
that she
know
ended
what-
up actually killing her friend.
Yeah, and you want to know what she kind
Big
of looked like?
spoiler alert
I
there.
couldn't tell
Well, we're
if
in
she
Please
was.
spoilers.
I couldn't tell if she was in her early 20s or like her 40s and was just short and like
Or
Liz-
11.
Liz, yeah, exactly. And Liz like looked it up and she's 27. But I was like, well, I mean, the whole like I'm stunted from that day, like they got it. You know what I mean? Like they figured it
They
out.
got it.
Yeah. There's the scene with the bus. Okay, so let's talk about the actual aliens. Actually, the aliens themselves. I felt the design of like the faces and the eyes was reminiscent of like Little Green Man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but the
Sure.
weird like toe
feet
things.
were
the
incredible.
Oh god, where
was
it like
fucking
came up on
wild.
its toes and like
Yeah. know,
The
the-
hands were cool with the real long fingers.
Yes, that was cool
And
too.
then you had some variations too with like the little
Yeah.
more aggressive one.
Yeah.
And the big praying mantis dude.
yeah.
yeah, we,
Yeah.
Have you
that
guys-
felt
Dude,
very
that
War
last
of the
one at the
Worlds.
end was very Liz was like, yeah, you know what this movie feels like? And I was like, what? And she did a me. She was like, help, shut the fuck up. We gotta be quiet. I was like, a quiet place?
I literally
place.
looked at him and I go, "What's the movie where it's like, shut the fuck up or they're gonna get us?"
Yeah.
It's a place that's quiet, and like
Yeah.
Do you guys ever listen to like any podcasts about alien abductions or anything?
No.
I mean, I've heard the Bob
No.
Lazar story. I've heard the Betty and Barney
Yes.
Ross story. I mean, I've heard a couple.
we
I know
listen
this whole.
to Blink 182.
I know the whole like Skinwalker. I know the whole Skinwalker Ranch shit.
Yeah, because like this felt like they were really actually trying to capture.
Well, yeah.
like,
Okay,
what-
so that was the other thing too that I appreciate about this is that it wasn't like the alien is like a bug or like the alien is like what's it called? It's like we're really the aliens. It's like no, these are or like the alien. Like the ship is actually the animal. You know what I mean?
the
no.
alien is an alien.
But
and
like,
he's here.
yeah, this is like no. These guys have flying saucers. They hide in clouds. It's like it does all the conspiracy shit. You know what I mean? And I really like that.
And-
it's like it like little details of like what makes of like
Yeah.
fits into alien lore is like not explained to you, but it's just there, and it's like. Oh shit! They have tractor beams. Oh, they have
Yeah.
anti-grav guns. Oh, you know what I mean? It's like, oh shit! They really like.
They're
she
gonna
gets
probe
probed.
you.
Yeah, she gets probed at one
Yeah.
point, and I made a joke about them probing her. I was like, I haven't seen a fucking alien movie do with a probe in like 35 years. You know what I mean? Like, so it was. That's what I liked about it was that it was just like somebody finally was
The
just
probing.
like, I'm putting fucking aliens
The
in this,
probing.
and just put aliens in it.
and like
I'm
they're
gonna make
all
a
like the
movie, a
same
lot of aliens.
species, but there's like different
Variations.
There's like you got the little baby that's like like what does he do? He's like
yeah.
He's like, yeah.
He was
I don't know, he
scary
does
as
some,
fuck.
like-
but then
All right,
you've got like
he deserved to get
you've
his head
got
smashed.
like
Yeah.
then you've got I'm a praying mantis, and then you've got the smart ones that are clearly like the leaders that are out there probing people with their fingers.
Here's my gripe with
They're
the
the
little
Union Busters.
the little green men aliens. I don't mind it, but I wish it wasn't always they all look exactly the same. Obviously, we had the few variations, but like they all have the same face.
Yeah.
And they should be wearing some type of clothes. Why are aliens always naked?
They pee out their finger.
Why are you stuck on being clothes?
No. I'm saying, Mike, if there was a species who achieved intergalactic travel, they'd be wearing something.
No.
Nah,
You don't need it.
I'm gonna quote Patrick Stewart, where he was like, people were like, "Don't you think that they would have like cured baldness in Star Trek?" And he's like, "I don't think people will give a fuck in the future. We can fly in space."
Okay.
It's that.
Are you going to bring up?
I'm gonna have my balls out in the cockpit of the spaceship.
Like, how is that anything to do with what I just said?
I get what he's
Because
saying.
they don't
I get
care about
he's saying that their
clothes.
hubris has grown so
it's
far
not-
Clothes
past
are a
the
social
need for
construct.
clothes. Yeah.
See, this is the thing: is you guys are thinking about clothes as a means to cover your shame. When to
That's
me,
all that clothes are.
No.
Oh, okay. Now I'm listening. Go
clothes have a practical application to protect you from the elements. They're not
they're
just to cover your
shame.
balls.
So what are in this room right now? What are these clothes doing
damn.
for you guys?
Well, I gotta be honest, Nick. You make a compelling argument.
Like you know how sometimes when you go out in the winter, you put on a big heavy jacket. It's
So
not
then,
just
Nick,
to cover your nipples.
why wouldn't you be naked in your home, in your optimal temperature home?
Yeah.
I mean, I am naked
Well,
in
let
my
me
home
ask you a question.
sometimes.
If it was like hot out, let's just say the aliens do have clothes. They're choosing not to wear clothes.
It's much colder on their
That's
planet.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I would just like to see them like the aliens from fucking Mars Attacks. Like they have
in a
spacesuits and
Supreme
shit.
jacket. Like,
Yeah. No, Mike, in some alien ass clothes.
Yeah. With little fucking helmets and shit, and you can break it, they suffocate.
Fuck the helmets and that. But I mean, like it'd be funny to see them wearing like something that looked foreign, but it's like, oh, clearly they have put together. They built a motherfucking spaceship.
Yeah, see, I had these
they
thoughts
have
too.
textiles.
I had these thoughts too, and I was like, no, this isn't the one. If this was like Dune and they were all walking around hanging dong, but they had all these crazy ass structures, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
even
I can't focus on the plot. Whereas this, it's like, okay, this is the aliens are the fun part. Like, let's just have fun.
In Star Wars, they have a good mix of naked and clothed aliens. You got
well,
fucking
we only got
We
one
have one
option here, Nick.
species.
Greedo shows up. He's got clothes on, and you got Chewbacca, and he's free balling.
So
He's got a little red rocket, Nick. You just can't
Greedo's
see it.
like
I'm saying,
Winnie
he's
the
free
Pooh.
balling.
He's got a top on.
We're watching this
Greedo
movie.
too has a little red
Wait,
rocket.
does Greedo only wear a top?
No,
a
he
top?
doesn't.
Does
he
have
wears a
pants
whole
on?
fuck, yeah.
Let me pull up Greedo.
Pat looks at me during this movie and he goes, "What is this guy doing?" And I go, "He's calling out to the other ones that she like escaped or whatever at some point." And he goes, "What do you mean they have a spaceship but they don't have phones?" I go, "They do not need phones. They are
They're
aliens."
telekinetic.
Oh, he's got pants.
Yeah, they got a weird vibrating
the
he-
wide
remote.
one.
So Nick, is this what you would like all aliens to look like?
I would like for some of them to look.
Yeah,
um,
no. I mean, like, but that's my whole thing. Is just it's just in general. Is
Some of
like,
them.
like he jumps up on the roof, he calls, and it's just like, but you don't have a communicator or anything, but you got the fucking
But it's
who
like
pilots
in,
it then.
in their head.
You know?
It's like it's in their head.
It's like you really got to go like District. Like if you watch District 9, all the shit that they do,
Perfect.
perfect. Like they clearly figured it all out.
Is the sequel in development still?
I think so.
Well, not right now.
Yeah. All right. Because of the strike. That's why.
the ooze leaking out of the one guy's head that went into the plants. You remember that part?
Yeah.
Did anything ever follow up?
That's the parasite leaving his body. The host. It's leaving the host because the host is dead, and now it cannot survive without a host. So it went out,
So
and
the
it
host,
got
the alien
it got
itself
the
was
mailman.
the
It got the
host.
mailman.
Yeah, I think it got the mailman because that's like the next person we see that goes after her.
And it really made me think of fucking Return of the Mailman.
Return to the
The son of mailman. You know?
Yeah, so
Son of
that's
mailman.
like a representation where like the aliens are just the body
They may have been taken over by the little
parasites. Yeah,
throat parasites too. They're not even the bad
Well,
guys.
that's what
in all
she was
this.
getting. She was getting the throat parasite, and then she pulled it out.
how she got her hand that far down her throat, impeccable.
She a throat goat.
So what? Shout out to Throatzilla, everyone. She's here this week. All right. So I have a question. What did you guys think of the cinematography and the editing?
I enjoyed it.
I thought they were impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
One of them reminded me of unedited footage of a bear. Do you guys remember that Adult Swim skit, unedited footage of a bear of the woman who's on like drugs and like runs after? Hold on, I'll pull it up. I'll show you some footage. There's one particular shot that looks exactly like her running away from the fucking mailman. As you can see, I was watching it recently. There's one shot where when she's running or she looks at somebody who's running. Oh, right here. This right here, when she starts running.
Like 28 days later.
Yeah. When she starts running here, it legitimately does look like one of the shots from the movie. And I can't help but think, I mean, how old is this guy? Was he inspired by this? Maybe he got the... Just like, watch, there's one shot in this movie, or with this. Here we go, like, Watt right there, like, with the run, the feet, and, like, there's...
The motion tracking.
Yeah, the motion tracking, too. And then there's, like, when she gets closer, watch the way she turns around, like, it was just very, very... It reminded me of this.
I get what you're saying.
This footage is very unsettling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this whole thing is, like... It starts off as like literally unedited footage of a bear.
it is possible. And
then it
38.
turns into this fucking crazy
I
like
need to watch
downward spiral.
Me
into
too.
This
drug
reminds me
addiction.
of Too Many Cooks.
This was the sequel to Too Many Cooks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know what came after it though. I guess I'll be going on a fucking dive tonight. Anyway,
Spirit
back to the
Quest.
movie. So yeah, so the cinematography is fantastic. I love the camera work in this movie. It's dynamic. There's a lot of cool like tracking shots, but nothing that's so overdone like The Revenant.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a lot of cool camera work in the sense of like you're not really looking at the creature, you're looking at the creatures through stuff, so it plays with your expectations and you can't really make things out. And then the reveal comes and you're like, oh shit, that's what I've been looking at. There's also a lot, since this movie is a lot of there is no talking. A lot of it is eyeball acting, the school of Tom Hardy. And the camera follows her eyes quite a lot, and that creates a sense of tension and a sense of POV without actually being like a first person.
I didn't realize that.
Like, you know what I mean? A first person perspective. So there is quite a lot of genius, like grade A camera technique in this movie.
I agree with what you said, where it's not in your face to the point where if you were not looking for it, you wouldn't even notice what it's doing.
Yes, I completely agree. There's also quite a lot of like, it's like you're looking through a window. You're like, what is that? Or you're like looking through the trees and you're like, what the fuck is that? And
the
then
first
it comes
time
in
when the alien is skulking around on the porch and she's on the stairs, it's scary as fucking effective. It's like you can barely see anything and it's scary.
This movie did a really good job of letting you know that she's in complete darkness while making sure that you can see what's going on. Because there's scenes that there's no light source, but everything's very bright.
I thought the scene in the kitchen when she's next to the refrigerator, the lighting was so beautiful.
Yes,
it's like,
I
wow,
thought
it
that
feels
as well.
like very
Really good.
naturalistic light.
There was also a scene in where she's in the field and it's pretty much lit by moonlight almost, and like in what's going on with her, it is completely pitch dark. She can't make out anything besides for like the moonlight hitting the house or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas to us, the audience, we can see everything because they weren't like, well, she's not going to be able to see, so let's just turn it down. Like they kept everything in frame, and I really like that too. Like I said, this was a very expertly executed like film as far as technique and style goes.
Production.
Like, say what you want about the story, but holy shit, these guys know how to make a fucking movie. Like it was beautiful the entire time.
That's why I mean this is like more of a showcase piece than anything.
Yeah. But
That
even
makes
then, I'm
sense when
still
you- when
into
you
the
describe it like
idea.
that.
Like, I still liked the journey the character went on because I felt like I invested the right amount for what it was giving me.
Yep.
Remember the whole thing with Renfield where we were like, hey, sometimes not enough is just enough. And I feel like this is the same case, but better. This movie is much better than Renfield.
Yeah, I thought Renfield was disappointing.
Okay, whatever. So Mike, let's talk about the ending. I know you want to talk about the ending. So
Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just gonna set it up for everybody. So the ending of the movie is that after she almost gets taken over, she gets or assimilated. There is an instance where she kills a clone of herself, I guess. I don't know. We can get into that. But then she gets abducted through a tractor beam, and they probe her, and they see what's going on inside of her mind, and they empathize with her. So at the end of the movie, or the next scene rather, like literally right at the end, the final scene of the film is she has now learned to love herself. She has gotten over the tragedy that she was holding on to for all these many years. Because now everybody in town is under the control of the aliens besides for her. And since her and the aliens are homies now, they live in perfect harmony and they sing songs and they dance and there's a beautiful sunset and there's lots of flying saucers in the air. And it's just, you did not see that coming after the last hour and fucking 20 minutes of this movie. You just did not. I could not have imagined that would have been the ending.
And Mike was
in
sad
all
that
of
there
my
was
life.
a happy ending.
Because it is a happy ending, but it's also very bleak because it's one of those things where it's like, well, I guess she kind of got over it, but she took away the wrong lesson here. You know what I mean? Like,
The thing that I saw online that really summed it up was society didn't accept her, but
Yeah.
the aliens did.
yes.
That's the thing that I was kind of like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with Mike on that point, though, is because that's the disconnect. Because
But, like-
it wasn't her whole thing was that, like, don't get me wrong. I think a person in her position, she wished society was accepting her, but that wasn't the linchpin of her character. The linchpin of the character was coming to terms with what she did.
I think the thing to keep in mind is
right
that
there.
her-
That was what
her
didn't
community.
stick.
Her community shunning her probably had a big impact on her not being able to move past that event. It has
Sure.
It has stopped
Okay,
her from
okay.
moving on with her life because she can't even go into town without being reminded of the biggest mistake she ever
Right.
made in her
Yeah.
life.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I
So the
also
aliens
think
are
it's
like,
a little bit
kind of
different.
like,
okay,
She's looking
I-
for human connection. Like okay, so I don't know
or
if we.
inhuman.
I feel like we didn't really touch on this. Like, she got into a fight with her best friend when they were 12, and she knocked her in the head with a rock and killed her. Oh, by the way, the best friend's dad is the chief of police in this what is
Yeah.
seemingly a very, very small town. So, like, there are scenes of her in the beginning where she's waving to people, and people are just like blatantly ignoring her. Nobody is talking to her. So she has had no dialogue with another human being.
You know Tinder, it don't work out there.
Yeah, it
so
doesn't. No, there's no phone service. It's just her and this mailman.
She had to whittle one. Anyway.
Yeah. So, oh God. So the only dialogue in the movie before, like, at the catalyst where we're heading into the ending is like her apologizing to her friend. So, like, she's forgiving herself for all this pain, but like, you were 12, but you also did kill someone. Whether it was a mistake or not, there does need to be, some consequences there. I don't think everyone should ignore her, but
Yeah, but
this is the thing that I felt was like weirdly heavy-handed and didn't make any sense. And like I was like, you're trying to make a movie about grief and overcoming grief, and you have the concept of you killing yourself and your old self to overcome this grief. But like also you randomly tie this in with like aliens going inside your mind and being like, okay, she killed someone. And my immediate thought was like, the aliens were like, oh, cool, she kills these humans. We don't like humans either. Let's just fucking keep her around. Like, you could kind of take it however you want to take it. I don't think the aliens
want the
like,
humans to be alive so they could take their bodies.
yeah, but she's like, look, she doesn't care about people either. So we're gonna like hang out with her.
They saw all of her grief, and they knew that she did care and how big a mistake that she made. They saw all of the years of grief and being an outsider.
So why does an alien who's gonna take over your mind and make you a lifeless nobody give a shit about that?
Because he saw all the pictures of them as children.
and all her letters she
And
wrote over
that
the
changed
years.
their entire master structure
which,
plan.
by the way, actually, Mike, I get what you're saying here, but Nick is actually selling me on this movie even more because I forgot that the smart one, actually, when she tries to like throw the scissors at him or whatever, he just whisks it away with like his telekinesis or whatever because he's not threatened by her.
Yeah.
He's interested by her
Yeah.
because he's looking at all the pictures of her. That is so fucking God damn it, this movie's even better now. Fuck.
And you know what?
I forgot about that. I was like, why would he look at her pictures? He's the same one in the fucking ship later on.
Yep.
Yeah, but like they're all just gonna take over the people anyway. What does he give a fuck? Like he's interested in this one random one, and then he keeps her like
something
sentient.
different.
Like
Yeah.
okay,
Have you ever just like been interested in something where you're like, this has no impact on me? Or like when you fall down like a rabbit hole on the like the internet, it's like
You ever
that.
find-
I caught
a
a
lost
frog. I caught a
dog?
frog outside like 2 hours ago, and I spent like a half hour walking around with it. I get this.
it's like
I'm
a
the
pet.
demographic for that.
It's like a pet. It's like, look, Nico came into our lives. We had to bottle feed him. We had to take care of him. And now, even though he attacks me, I'm like, oh my God, I would die for you. That's how he feels about her. She's a pet.
She's a pet.
She's a pet.
Okay, but anyway, I love the ending in the sense that it goes like this sunny like 1950s style like Americana living on the side
Yeah.
of shaking some maracas and going out dancing on the town. Like,
Honestly, love it.
the choreography, it's good choreo. I know. I would know.
What do you think about her breaking the fourth wall at the very end?
I thought
she
that was
break the
cool.
fourth
She
wall?
did. She looked right down the fucking cannon. She did it. It's
Oh,
fine.
you know what Alexa said at that point? She said, "The people who made this movie saw Pearl."
Yo, so
Yeah.
I think the people who made this movie saw Pearl, and they also saw Prey,
And
they were like, and
Signs.
Signs,
Yeah.
and they're like, how can we tie this all? But yeah, I mean, I because it was one of those movies where it's like, okay, what is it going to be, like a hive mind thing, or like is she only going to kill one? I was like, there ain't going to be no sequels to this. I was like, so we got to wrap this up, and I thought that ending was better because. I don't know. I guess we just don't. It also had like a destroy all humans vibe to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like, I love that fucking video game, and it was one of my favorite like representations of UFOs in like the 1950s and everything. And it just got me. Okay, I was,
It was-
the
it was
fucking
a
alien's
cool-
pet. Okay,
Everyone was happy. It was a happy ending, and honestly, she gets to live in her own Delulu world. And as a person who would like to do that also, I commend her. Good for you and your delusions, girl. I love that for you.
and you know she getting that alien D. You know
From
what
the
I'm saying?
mailman.
She getting that mailman
That's what I'm saying.
alien D.
That was a really big mail truck for a small town.
Yeah,
That
he's got a big
mailman
mail
had
truck
a
already.
really big
And I
mail
love how
truck.
there was like there was no like social allegory to this. There was no like they're trying to control your mind, man, you know, or anything like that.
No. Those aliens just wanted to live on Earth as people.
Did anybody else hear that drop?
Yeah, because I
I thought it sounded like it was like an actual drop.
it sounded like a bomb.
A phantom drop.
Yeah, it didn't have any of that, which is there's enough of that. So like this was it was his own little
Leave that to
thing,
Gareth
and
Edwards.
yeah, which that's next week, but also so is fucking Saw, bro.
What's
But
next week?
Saw and the Creator.
Oh, the creator. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
So join us next week
Yeah.
for the
So,
creator.
do we have anything else we want to talk
think
about with
that's
this movie?
No.
Love the
I think that's
outfits.
Fits are good.
Fits
are
are
good.
good.
Pass the fit check.
Great tiny town.
Mm-hmm.
Good tiny town.
Rivals that of Beetlejuice.
Beetle guys.
Betelgeuse.
Beetlejuice.
Did the pond remind anyone? She just was laying out by this pond. That was very like Evil Dead, X. Like I was like, is there an alligator in this pond that's gonna like pop up at any time? That's probably the only thing I thought of. That's it.
Okay.
That's my last thought.
Okay, all right. Well, with that said, thanks so much for tuning in.
Hold on. We're forgetting.
What's the
got-
one thing we do every week on this
We
show?
don't do anything on. Is there something else you guys want to do?
I do, and this is
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week.
It's really
It's the
loud.
clip of the week.
Well, now that my fucking ears are
That
bleeding.
was loud as fuck.
Honestly, and that
Show
was the
me
same.
gore.
All right, let's do it. This is a TikTok, so how
Gore.
dangerous could it be?
Show me Al Gore. He's putting in a fence.
He's got a post pusher.
You post pusher.
Oh no, I
Is
don't.
he gonna put his hand in it?
Oh my God.
He hit a gas line.
Oh my God. I could have never expected that. I was like, his head's gonna
No
go
one
in
could
it,
have foreseen
or
this.
his dog, or something.
I want to hear like the Beverly Hillbillies start, and it's like they struck oil.
Have you guys
Black
ever seen the
gold.
movie
Wait, just like-
Deepwater Horizon? 'Cause that's what
basically
this
this.
reminds me of. Fucking BP's getting a phone call from the EPA soon. Wait, did this have volume, Nick?
I don't know.
I don't think it
That's
did.
pretty good.
That's a pretty good one.
That was a good one. I like that one. Look, now it's
good.
just like leaking fucking gas all into the. That's gonna kill all the fake birds that the government did and replaced it.
Hey, can you play it in
You're not
slow
wrong.
motion?
Boom. This one.
The ground warping is truly phenomenal.
It's pretty cool.
Look at
And
him, yo.
I
This,
want to see him run away.
look
the
at
end.
this Anthony Oliver looking
I
guy.
was thinking that too. He really does.
Sailing my soul.
Time to get outta
This
here.
is what he was overtime hours for bullshit pay. This is what he was doing. Man, I wish I had some fudge rounds out here. That'd be great. But all the fatties on welfare got it.
Yeah.
That was a good one,
shit.
Nick. I like that one. I was gonna show
Glad
you
you
one of a
liked
guy
it.
smashing a windshield with his fist because someone was just making fun of him.
Can I tell you what I thought you were gonna say?
What?
You said a guy smashing his and then I was like, Pat's gonna say wiener. I could totally
His
picture
wussy.
a guy smashing his wiener in a windshield.
Pee-pee snot.
Oh god! All right, that's
All right,
it.
so with that,
Goodbye.
We'll see you next week for The Creator. Goodbye, everyone.